Hey there, Algebra 1 students. We're going to work on more factoring today. Factoring is super fun. I like to think of it as a puzzle. If you think of it as a puzzle and a game, I think you will enjoy it as well. So factoring a trinomial is figuring out what two binomials would multiply together to give you that trinomial, right? And sometimes there is just, you have to try something, right? Try something, check, see if it works. If it doesn't work, move on, right? That's called trial and error. But there is sometimes a method to the madness. So let me try and communicate to you some of the method, all right? So the first thing we do, we notice there's no number in front of the s squared term. We've got s squared plus 11s plus 10. So we'll break this, we draw our two sets of parentheses here. Okay, and what things multiply to s squared? Right? That would just be s and s. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the s's there and there. And then we need to ask ourselves, well, what things multiply to 10? And I'm going to make a little list over here of things that multiply to 10. There's 2 and 5, and there's 1 and 10, right? Well, what do those add up to, right? 2 plus 5 is 7. 1 plus 10 is 11. The 11 should be familiar, right? That's the number in front of the middle term, and that's what we want to get. So we're going to use the 1 and the 10. Now, both signs here are plus signs, and so both signs here will be plus signs. If this sign right here is plus, that means they have the same sign, right? They could either be both minus signs or both plus signs. And this one would tell you which they are. So because this one is positive and this one is positive, these are both positive, both plus signs. And we're going to plug in the 1 and we're going to plug in the 10 because we've already checked that 1 plus 10 equals 11. So, but we can double check, right? 1 times s is 1s. S times 10 is 10s. And 1s plus 10s is 11s. And that is our middle term right there. So we have successfully factored the trinomial that we started with. Our answer is s plus 1 times the quantity s plus 10. Let's try another one. Here we have h squared plus 2h minus 24. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my parentheses, just like so. And I know that h times h will give me h squared, right? So h and h go there. What else do we know? We need to figure out what things multiply then to our last term, which is 24. What things multiply to negative 24? You could have negative 1, positive 24. You could have negative, negative 24 and 1. How about negative 2 and 12? Or negative 12 and 2. Negative 3 and 8, or negative 8 and 3, or negative 4 and 6, or negative 6 and 4. You want to make sure when you're making your long list of factors that you're not writing the same thing down over and over again, right? Negative 1, positive 24, negative 24, and 1. Those are different things, right? We just want to be careful. All right, what do these things add up to? Well, negative 1 plus 24 is 23. Okay, that's not the one we want because we want something that adds to 2. So we'll cross that off. You know what? We'll cross the positive or the negative 1 off as well because it would give us a negative 23. That's not what we want. What about negative 2 and 12? That adds up to 10. Is that 2? No. So we'll cross that one off. What about negative 3 and 8? That would add up to 5. No, that's not what we want. What about negative 4 and 6? Oh, hey, that adds to 2. That is what we want, right? So we come back over here to our parentheses. We'll put in minus 4 and a plus 6, and we can double check, right? We can do h times 6 is 6h, and negative 4 times h is negative 4h, and when we add them up, it adds to 2h. So there it is. Our answer is h minus 4 times h plus 6. We have factored the h squared plus 2h minus 24. Okay, we have one more problem. It says w squared minus 7w plus 10 equals 0, and we need to solve for w, right? Solve for w. We need to solve for w. We start by factoring these trinomials, right? So we need to factor it like we have been doing what things multiply to w squared. That would be w and w. And then what things multiply to 10? 1 and 10, negative 1, negative 10, 2, 5, negative 2, negative 5. What do these add up to, right? 1 plus 10 is 11. We've got negative 11, positive 7, and negative 7. What do we want? We want the negative 7, right? So we want the negative 2 and the negative 5. So we plug that in here. Minus 2, minus 5. And we don't want to get rid of the fact that this is equal to 0, right? So we have w minus 2 times w minus 5 equals 0. And we can check, w times negative 5 is negative 5w. Negative 2 times w is negative 2w. If you add them up, you get negative 7w. This checks, all right? But it's also set equal to 0, and we're not done. We need to solve for w. So we take each of these, this w minus 2, and set it equal to 0. We take the w minus 5 and set that equal to 0, and then we solve for w, right? So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. I have w equals 2, and here we're adding 5, and we have w equals 5. So we have w equals 5, w equals 2. We have 2 solutions to this equation. All right, I hope that helps you as you work on your homework this evening. Don't forget to show your work. We'll see you next time.